What are we doing today, guys? Well, we're going to look at the 5 best knives so far this year. But we're not going to do it yet. You know what's coming. Here comes that logo. So I decided that we were just going to look at 5 of the best knives that have come in so far this year. There's probably some more on the list, but a lot of them went back to Jared. So let's get all of these out of the way. So we're going to look at this one first. This is the MAFB done by my buddy Christian Ortiz over at Cerberus Knives. Chris has made an amazing little EDC fixed blade version of his Arian. So you've got all this incredible milling on these scales that gives you really good grip and comfort in hand. Nice, super thin behind the edge CNC milled blade. This is not ground, it's CNC milled. You can still see the grind lines on it, or the milling lines on it. This was a prototype. This is his personal one, so it's not completely finished. Brilliantly done in hand, nice and thin, slices like no one's business. I got this in and sharpened it, and I was like, man, that is a laser. This is one of the few knives that I would put up there against, well, I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but against my Sea Snake when it comes to fixed blade EDC knives, because this thing just does it really well. Nice and thin. When you've got a knife that's this good and thin, it's going to slice through anything you want. S90V blade, nice distal taper on this. The grind comes down a full flat grind, if you would. It's not technically a grind because it's CNC'd, but it comes down nice and thin to that tip. Slices anything you want to. I've done kitchen tasks and things with this. Since it's been here, it does great. It's like having a little heavy-duty paring knife because it absolutely does come down as thin as you want for small kitchen tasks, but also is still amazing for everything else. S90V steel, like I said, holds its edge really well. And then you've got this carbon fiber texture look on the Kydex with soft loops, so you can carry it scout carry. Removable hardware, so you can take your handles off if you happen to be a wet environment, you want to clean under it, but it's also been ceramic coated so that you've got that impregnable coating on the outside, which is going to prevent rust. I really haven't seen any issues with S90V rusting, but it could be an issue depending on where you live. So there you go. The MAFB by Cerberus Knives. That's the first one. Guys, the next knife up on the list is the SPYDERCO Police in VG10. This is a knife that I had wanted for a long time, but I just didn't think it would ever get the kind of carry to justify the price. And I was absolutely wrong. Now, I can say that now because it was sent to me as a gift by one of the paying members. But this thing has turned into a knife that I carry constantly. It sits on the shelf so that knives that are in and out of pocket for review, I should say, when they go out of the pocket, this goes right back in, same as my Norseman. This thing is awesome. You've got this big, long, hollow grind blade, comes down really thin, piercing point, really striking look to it, aggressive look, because it's got this swedge. Really straight blade down here with just a tiny bit of belly where it kicks up here, which gives it a really unique profile. Stainless steel press fit handles, so you don't ever have to worry about hardware, things like that. It's just going to be something that you can just put in your pocket and go. Pocket clip is a nice large pocket clip on this knife. It's very comfortable. And if you're somebody that is left-handed or right-handed, you can definitely carry it either way, tip up, tip down. SPYDERCO is famous for giving you multiple points of carry. As thick as this blade is behind the edge, it cuts amazingly well. VG10 steel is an amazing choice, in my opinion. It's one of my favorite steels. I think it's really underrated. Everybody tries to chase that Rockwell and always wants the best new super steels that are out there. I am not that guy. I am going to tell you that this is a very good all-around steel. Works for kitchen knives, works for folding knives, and it is relatively corrosion resistant, takes a screaming edge. This thing is a very comfortable knife. Some of the Endura style handles that SPYDERCO uses are the most comfortable knives on the market. I've said that for a long time. Even though I might say things about SPYDERCO from time to time, I always have loved that line of knives. The Police, the Endura, the Delica, the Indela, they are all great knives, and this is just another one in that line that really just knocks it out of the park. It's rapidly become one of my favorite knives, and it definitely belongs on the list of top 5 knives of the year. Next knife up is what I think, not just one of my top knives of the year, I think this is one of the best Ferrum Forge knife designs ever. This is the Ferrum Forge ALLURUS. This came from the boys at Ferrum Forge. The only thing that's been done to it is I did do an extra fine tumble on the scales to give it a little bit different look. Coming in 20 CV, it is extremely thin behind the edge. This is, I think, so far this year, it has taken the spot as the top slicer for the year. Action on it is amazing. Great big full finger choil up front. Even without the choil, it's comfortable. Actual full functional jimping. I've said it a bunch of times. Jimping is not something that should be there for aesthetic or design purposes. It should be functional. This is extremely functional. It is very aggressive jimping. Holds your finger. Flipper tab on it, as I would expect from all the Ferrum Forge knives. Just perfect. Jared and I both agree they have some of the best flipper tabs on the market. Pocket clip is a pretty good pocket clip, and the pocket clip, or I'm sorry, the lock bar cutout is on the inside, which I also like because that means it doesn't catch on pockets. As far as the action and everything, it's great. Back flip, if you've got good strong fingers, you can actually reverse flick it off of the flat there. Good look. Another one of those knives that Elliot does that maximizes the amount of blade that you can squeeze into a handle. He is really big on a very good blade to handle ratio. And here, this is another one. Running on bearings, just beautifully sculpted, so comfortable in hand. It's just buttery smooth in hand. And then, like I said, pocket clip in and out of pocket. It's a champ. I have yet to find a knife so far this year that has come in that slices as good as this one. There's another one on the list that comes close, but not as good as this one. So yeah, another winner from the guys over at Ferrum Forge Knife Works, Ferrum Forge Designs. So this is not, this was OEM. This is not a licensed design. This is actually one that they sell on their website. So if you're interested in this one, you can find it with my Blade HQ link or go straight to ferrumforge.com and buy it from them. So let's take a look at the next one. Next up on the list is the Andromeda. This is really Laconico design done by Artisan. This is a unique looking knife, but goodness gracious, is this thing comfortable. Nice thin profile, sweet thumb flipper action on a button lock. This is a very good button lock flipper. They did a couple this year. They also have one called the Lago that I have not yet done a video about, but it is here. I really like these new button locks from Artisan. The button lock on it is great. The action on it is great. There is no play in that at all. None. It's very solid. Nice button lock action running on bearings. This one is in ARRPM 9. I love the overall profile of this. So you've got this nice slim knife with a decent looking blade. It looks kind of like a snake of sorts. It's very primal looking, and I like it. I love the fact that they gave you this nice up sweep on the handle. When you're in on that, even with big hands like mine, it just feels secure because this is relatively thin. A lot of times those knives that come down thin, they just don't feel secure in my hand as they taper down. It just kind of feels like the knife's going to come on my hand. Not on this one because it kicks up like this. Nice little almost coffin end on it. You do have a lanyard hole if you're a fan of a lanyard hole. I don't like lanyard holes, and this one is not protected. So if you do put a lanyard on it, I wouldn't put a real expensive lanyard on it in case you actually get the blade up against it. I don't see you really would, but just in case. And you have a reversible pocket clip. So there's a lot of things going for this. This one is a prototype. I do not remember if Russell told me that these had been released yet, but these things are great. You got a really nice deep carry pocket clip, and on this knife, it's not intrusive. It's not a hot spot. Only bad thing I did say about this, I think, really was I'm not a fan of the jimping. It's kind of soft. Like I said, I don't like jimping unless it's functional. It doesn't need there to be there just for an aesthetic touch. But this is a prototype, so it could be different on the production versions. This thing comes down really thin, nice and slicey, really acute point, just a good all-around knife. And if you like button locks, this one's got a great one. Oop, I didn't get my finger off the button. So there you go. The Laconico Design Andromeda by Artisan. Quick honorable mention, this is the MIGURON VELONA. I'm not going to talk about it a real long time, but this is the #1 budget knife that I've had come in. This is not a knife I got this year, though. If I remember correctly, this came to me from Jared end of last year, maybe beginning of this year, but this thing is incredible. This is my personal one. I've done several videos about it. So this is just honorable mention. I will put a link to it down below if you want to purchase one, because I cannot do a video like this and not recommend it. So there you go. Honorable mention, the MIGURON VELONA. And the final knife on our list is the PMP Big Boy. This is also a gift from paying member Winston Cabretti, same guy that got me the police. This is probably one of the best knives I have ever had. This knife does everything right. You want to look at a masterclass in how to do a large, comfortable folder, I would say this is one of them. The action is amazing. The blade steel 14C28N done incredibly well on a nice, very thin blade, not super thick blade stock, but transitions down so good. One of the best slicers I have ever handled. Second only, this comes in second. The only knife that I have that beats it right now is the Ferrum Forge ALLURUS. This is a big, beefy knife, super comfortable in hand, reversible pocket clip. I'm typically not a fan of these pocket clips. You've heard me say it in the videos. I've talked about this because you can see that pocket clip absolutely moves a lot. But as far as comfort level, that is one of the most comfortable pocket clips ever. There's zero hot spots. It's nice and round. It has yet to scratch anything really, unlike a lot of other pocket clips, because it is rounded. I've brushed up against my leather steering wheel in my car and never had a problem. Access to the lock bar, another one where these guys should teach a class on how to do it. It is just perfect, attractive. The action is amazing. Just shy, well, it is drop shut, but great overall profile. No hot spots at all. The lock bar tension is just perfect, and listen to the action. It is so good. Really light for as big as it is, because there's a lot of milling. So when you're talking about a knife that is done right, my buddy Tino has told me several times that he said this is basically a big, this is like an overfed, oversized Shirogorov, and I love everything about it. Super comfortable in hand because it's nice and broad. This is one of my favorite knives I have ever owned, and it was a gift. It is great. Jimping on, it's just about perfect. Blade finish is great. Slice is great. Does everything I would ever want a knife to do, and it does it very well. So there you go. Number 5. That was 5 fast. My top picks for knives for 2022 so far. I'm sure we'll readdress it. I had been doing it. Last year I did it a couple times, but yeah, so far this year, those are the ones. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your way. There you go, guys. There's my 5 top picks for my knives of 2022 so far. There's a couple knives that have come in that I have not gotten to. This may change, but right now that's how they stand. And right now, as far as my top picks, what is my top knife of 2022? I have to say it's going to be a toss-up between this and the MIGURON VELONA, just because it's such a value. So that's it on this one, guys. We can talk about this in a live feed sometime if you want, but I'm not going to talk about it any longer today because it's hot. If you guys want to support the channel, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. That's one of the ways you can support the channel, just interacting with the videos. Other ways are you can like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, and hit the bell icon. If you hit the bell icon, make sure you get notifications turned on your device so you get notified of all the stuff that goes up. If you want to support the channel financially, however, there's a bunch of ways. I have a ton of affiliate links down below. All of those affiliate links will allow you to support the channel without costing you anything. You're already going to buy the stuff. They just give me a portion of it at checkout, especially if you use the Amazon links, because anything you purchase with those Amazon links, I directly get supported. And like I said, it doesn't cost you anything at checkout. I also have a merchandise store on Ember Shirt Co where you can pick up my merchandise or other creators' merchandise, and I can get you a 10% discount with the coupon code CrazySharp. All one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp. Saves you 10% at checkout anywhere on Ember Shirt Co. And if you send me pictures of you wearing my merchandise, I'll put them in the video. And the final way is I have a multi-tiered membership that's on YouTube. There's a join tab down below if you're on a computer. And it gets you in on multiple different layers of benefits. Everyone saves $5 off my sharpening service. Everyone has access to the Gilded server. I do some exclusive content for premium baseline tier members. Premium baseline tier members automatically get entered into a giveaway that I do about monthly on the Gilded server. And the premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series that I've built specifically for them that's on YouTube. And only way you can access it is by being a premium member. Guys, that's it. I love y'all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will see you in the next video.